What's up, my dears? Welcome back. Oh man, the energy is wild right now. We got all planets direct until May 6th. We just went through the Libra full moon. So much good energy right now. A lot of energy around relationships. A lot of energy around self-worth and how our relationships relate to our concept of self-worth, our level of self-worth. A lot of things could be feeling like they're coming up for review right now in the world of relationships. Looking over our friendships, looking over our relationships, our connections to see how we've been showing up and what's going on with how we've been showing up and how our relationships are going. Excuse me. Okay. How our relationships are going. Are they feeding us? Are they draining from us? Do they belong in the next phase of our lives? These are all very important questions that the Libra full moon is bringing up. On another note, we have all planets direct. We have Aries season. Aries season, spring, all planets direct. This is huge forward motion energy. This is huge. All the seeds you are planting right now are going to explode over the next several months and longer, probably. So let's see what is going on. The energies are incredible right now. We just sent a crew around the moon, on their way around the moon yesterday, on the full moon, for the first time in like 50 years. That's beautiful. I was watching the live stream yesterday. My friend sent it to me. I had no idea. He's traveling. I go, where are you going? And he goes, to the moon in 12 minutes, and sends me the live stream. I'm like, oh my goodness, I had no idea that people were on their way to the moon. And I just watched the whole thing until they took off. And I just cried. Yeah. Yeah, so I feel like someone's going to break up with their boyfriend. And have this massive awakening of like, what have I been doing with this person? Like it could feel like a really huge wake-up call where you're like, how have I been missing this? How have I been accepting this and settling for this? Now, what we have to remember as we're looking at our relationships with other people is that, sure, people transgress us, and that is not our fault, and that has nothing to do with us. What we have to be responsible about and observing of is, what is it in me? And this has nothing to do with abuse or anything. That has nothing to do with us. That is 100% not our fault or our problem. What I'm talking about is like, how am I showing up in my relationships? What energy am I putting out there? Am I happy with how I'm showing up in my relationships, and what in me is attracting the kind of people that I attract over and over again? And that could be a really ugly wake-up call for people who aren't used to self-examining. But I think if you're attracted to tarot videos and the like, you're probably on a pretty deep healing journey and pretty used to self-examining, self-honesty, and observing yourself. So I feel like there's some kind of rude awakening here, though, with a person, with a man, that makes you go, wow, I have really been accepting way less than I deserve. And it could feel almost heartbreaking, like for your inner child. It could feel like it's breaking your heart for your inner child that you've allowed yourself to be in space with these kind of people. This could be a friend, this could be a romantic relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is, that makes you go, how have I been accepting this? And that's really valuable information to look at. Why do you accept less than you deserve? Or have had a pattern of accepting less than you deserve, because we don't do that anymore, right? So it feels like there's a lot of things coming up for review right now. There's a lot of spring cleaning, Marie Kondoing happening at the moment, where it's like, does this person's presence in my life spark joy anymore? If not, they're out. Or maybe there's certain situations where you're like, oh, this relationship or friendship has kind of gone dry. This person means a lot to me. I really see them in my future. Maybe a pointed talk needs to happen where we really get down to the bottom of what's happening here. I just ate a bunch of green curry. So, life is really good. The craziest song just popped into my head. It's that new Coldplay song. You are my universe, and I just want to put you first. I know it's not brand new, but it's new Coldplay. I don't know if you can tell by my visage how I feel about what's happened to Coldplay. I don't know why that song just popped in my head. Maybe it's a message for somebody where it's like, you are my universe, and I just want to put you first, and I want to talk about what's been happening in our relationship because you mean a lot to me, and I see you in my future. So I'm not going to just cut you out of my life. I'm not going to throw you away in the trash can. We're going to talk about what's been going on. And maybe that leads to the most intimate, beautiful, tears falling conversation you've ever had, and leads to a whole new level of connection between you. Maybe that ends the relationship forever. Either one is for your benefit. Everything is happening for you. We live in a friendly universe. Judgment reverse. Shining that light of awareness within to see, how am I showing up in my relationships? How have I been showing up in my relationships? What are my patterns? And again, total disclaimer, we are not talking about abuse ever, because that is the problem of that person. What I'm talking about here is say if every man you've ever attracted is an avoidantly attached man, there's a chance that there's something to look at within yourself about why you have been a vibrational, energetic match to this kind of man over and over and over again. And I don't think I need to say this, but I will say it. This is a very soft, compassionate, loving process with oneself. This is not to beat ourselves up and condemn ourselves or lash ourselves on the back. This is like, hey, sweet baby, I see that you've attracted 100 avoidant men in a row. Let's look at that. You know, there's a mountain of exploration we could do there. You know, those of us with early life trauma, we tend to want things that feel familiar to our chaotic nervous system rather than things that we know are healthy. So literally, a perfectly healthy, securely attached man could be standing in front of us right next to an avoidantly attached man who wouldn't take a pee on our grave if we died. And the patterning is to choose that man every time, the second one. Why? Well, because sometimes what we know feels like safety to our nervous system, even though it's not, and we know that. We can really drive ourselves nuts in these patterns, but this is why these things come up into our conscious awareness. So we can see, oh, I have a massive father wound. My dad was never around, or my dad was a crazy, angry alcoholic. So I attract crazy, angry alcoholic after crazy, angry alcoholic, trying to work out my father wound. Well, not anymore, baby. We are attracting healthy, gorgeous, securely attached, beautiful men, who are a vibrational match for the healing work that we're doing in ourselves. Okay? So this is a beautiful, beautiful process where it's like you can't recover from alcoholism if you are never becoming aware that you are an alcoholic. You cannot recover from your anxious attachment if you never recognize the patterns. You probably will never go into therapy if you don't recognize that there's something to be addressed. Note how I choose my words very carefully and deliberately. Thank you. You are my universe, and I just want to put you first. I was listening to Clocks the other day, and my heart broke for what Coldplay hath become. Same with Maroon 5, man. Songs About Jane was a perfect album. Are you kidding me? 14:14 on the timer when I looked down. God is agreeing with me. What happened to you? What happened to the sun? What happened to the sun, man? That song. Yeah, so what I'm being called to articulate here or drive home is that it could feel like very overwhelming when all this stuff is coming up, all these new conscious awareness about your relationships or your relationships, friendships, connections start to come up. There could even be a lot of downloads coming in from the past, things that you thought you processed years ago, random things from years ago, whatever. It could be a very overwhelming thing if you're not aware of what's going on. This is not happening to torture you. Nothing in the healing journey is happening to torture you. It's all happening for your benefit. It's all happening because there is an added level of understanding required of you to enter into this new phase of your life that's blossoming, this new timeline, this new identity, this new life, this whole new life for yourself, where we are not bringing these old things anymore. We are not taking these old patterns into the next phase of our life, period. So get excited. There's a lot of really beautiful things happening. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.